Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. I've been doing a bit of clean up lately, trying to get some things organised and tidied around here. Spring cleaning, I guess. It looks a bit messy at the moment because we've got grass weeds strewed on the lawn, which I wanted to do before Steve mowed it. I've been pruning some of the trees over here in the plum tree garden, just mostly the mandarin. Some of the branches needed thinning out and some of the low ones needed to come off as it's got bigger, and then a little bit off our small orange tree, which is growing more. I was trying to let a bit more light in for that as well because that's smaller than the mandarin. We've been entering into negotiations about a playhouse for Angus because he thought he was going to build one in the plum tree, I said no, because a fruit tree, and then he was going to build one in another tree, which was fine, but I said we need to do it with him because he was going to nail it in, so we want to do it properly. Lately I've been trying to focus on loving our house and our property where we are right now, where we're at, instead of focusing too much on where we want to go. And thank you. There's a lot to be done here, but we still want to make it a place where we feel peace. And so I think Steve and I have been making more effort to keep things clean and tidy. Angus used to have a playhouse, but we ended up demolishing it because, he started demolishing it. He pulled things off the walls and then started pulling the walls apart or sawing them and pulling out nails and screws and things, so it got to the point where it wasn't safe, especially with little Scarlett around when she was even smaller. So that was why that old one went, and because it did look janky as well. It was put together, and he had a lot of fun in it, but this time I thought, we might as well build him a playhouse, both of them, that they can share. Then I had an idea about what is currently the cardboard mountain, shameful patch of the garden. I shouldn't say shameful. Most unsightly part of the garden. Steve collected cardboard boxes and brought them home. Angus used them for making his vehicle or just destroying them because, he's a boy. And now it's just a big mess there, and what used to be garden a while ago had gotten overrun by weeds anyway, so I figured why not put a playhouse over there because it's close to the playground anyway. So we are going to be working on getting that cleared up, and that's exciting, and part of that is me needing to move the bags of composting leaves that are sitting in there, so I'm going to have a look at those. And because I need to mulch the potato row anyway, Steve picked up some barley straw for us, so we can put that down, but I may put some of the leaves on the potato row too, so I'm going to have a look and see what they're like. They are a little bit dry on the top and the edges, but actually these ones are quite wet and decomposing, so that's quite good. The main big one, the leaves, on the top and around the edges look dry, but in the middle it's actually decomposing quite nicely. It's warm, which is great. There's some good stuff in there, and it's crumbling up nicely in the middle there, so that could actually be quite handy to put on the garden. Ideally the leaf litter should be broken down a bit more, but it'll be good stuff to get in here anyway. Most of it's nice and moist and it'll add some good organic matter. I haven't used this much leaf litter on one of the rows before, so we'll see how it goes with the potatoes. It does smell really nice. It smells like forest floor. Quite nice, and it's definitely decomposing, so we'll get it covered over with some barley straw now. These potatoes now.
This way.
Well, that's the potato row all done now, so that feels good, except for the little bit at the end with the children's snack still growing in it. So they're probably not going to be there for much longer because they're pretty much all floury anyway, even though Angus likes eating the flowers too. So this is the potato row here. This has got parsley in it at the moment, as well as some onions along mostly this edge. This is going to be the tomato and onion row. This row, I'm still figuring out what to do with these rows. This one's still got brassicas growing in it with edible things. Some of them need to come out, but some of them we can still use. So one row's going to have kumara. Last year it was this one here, and I had pumpkins in that one. I am not going to grow so many pumpkins this time because half the family doesn't like them anyway, so I could better utilise the space. So I'm thinking of doing kumara in this row since the brassicas are still growing and the kumara can't be planted till it's warmer. This row I'd quite like to do carrots, but I need to deal with this pile of old chicken bedding that's in here. Just spread that out. The trouble is birds digging would be problematic with carrots. Some of this old chicken bedding is decomposed enough, but some of it is still in big chunks and too fresh, so I'm going to move it somewhere else. Well, this row is ready for something now. I'm going to start cleaning up in the raised bed garden because there's a lot of things that need cleaning up in there. I've done a little bit here and there, but we need to get the old broccolis out and get the soil topped up with some old chicken poopy stuff that's in the wheelbarrow and some more of the leaf litter so we can add some nutrition into the beds, especially where the broccolis and things are. Those two beds need a lot more nutrients. This is what we have to deal with, people. Oh, he looked even bigger when he was stretched out. Big fat slug. done. Hello. Cover it up now. That's good. All ready for when we do get more plants. Ready to plant in there, and it'll help them grow and help stop the weeds. Those are leeks, so we'll leave those leaves. We use those. Oh, it has rained. The rain. Right, off we go. It's just starting to rain a tiny bit, but we got that one bed finished and topped up and covered, and then a little bit down the end here. So that's a really good start. One bed's ready for spring plants whenever they're ready. So we got this bed here weeded. The soil was a little bit noticeably better in here than it was in these other two joining onto it. The plants, the kale's done pretty well. It's going to seed now because we've had crazy weather as it does, but I'll still top that up with something. This one's all done, so it's got old chicken manure, leaf litter, decomposing leaf litter and barley straw, so that should help with something. And then we've got this one down here. I pulled a few things out of here, but I haven't finished yet. This was probably the worst in terms of the brassicas. The purple sprouting one, broccoli, did okay, although they kind of bolted a little bit as well. But the cabbages, every single cabbage, and even the collards that were in there, just bolted. I did put some things in there, but obviously not enough for the autumn planting, so that's why I've put a whole bunch of stuff in there to help. But this one's gonna get weeded and cleaned up later, and then that'll be getting a load of organic matter too. And saying that, cabbages that were over there bolted too, and I know that soil was pretty good. That one especially, where the tomatoes were growing last season, was really good, and the youngins in there are looking really good. So I mean, the spring weather's been up and down and all over the place, so that doesn't help. This bed here's had old chicken bedding in it, so that's actually looking pretty good at the moment, other than a few tiny weeds and a cabbage that's probably not going to make it. This one needs weeding. This one's just got a couple of weeds, probably needs a little bit more mulch. So we have all this grand mass of flowers is meadow foam, and it's basically for the bees and the pollinators. It's really good for them, and it self-sows, which is good, but I just have to pull chunks of it out because it gets pretty crazy with all its roots, matted roots going into my plank here. So I've just tried to leave it around some edges. It doesn't last for too long, and as the weather gets warmer it kind of dies off anyway. And this is the bed that next most needs cleaning up. It's a mixture of old crops going to seed, weeds and calendula. So I have been picking away at it every time I come over to see the chickens, but a bit more to do. Actually, these cabbages over here are actually doing something, I think. Hopefully they will head. I actually need to water the carrots. I'm not a very good carrot mum.
I actually not a carrot mum.
You're not a carrot mum, okay. So I had them covered with the ground covered with cardboard, but there were just slugs finding a home under it. I basically created a slug house. So I took the cardboard off, and we actually haven't had rain for a few days. There was a slight bit of rain, but it's gone now. So I need to water this soil. And I just noticed there are some tiny little carrots. Look at those. Those are tiny baby carrots. Don't touch them. Just looking. Just looking. So that's good. The bunch coming up in there, as well as some weed seeds I can see. But yay.